Hi there. We are going to go over the uses of the Baked Bronzer and Highlighter Palette. This is one of my favorites. I like to take it when I'm camping or when I'm traveling or anything like that, just because it's an all-in-one little palette that I can use on my face and my eyes. So I like to use the slanted blush brush, and I like to take the darker color first. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but not anything crazy. It just adds a little bit of either contouring or bronzer if you're looking for a bronzer. But what I like to do is, using the flat side of my brush, get a decent amount of product on there, not too much because it's easier to add than it is to remove. And then when I'm looking at my face, I want to make it look like I have a nice high cheekbone. So instead of doing the old-fashioned where you're putting it right there, I want to lift it up a little bit to make the illusion that I have higher cheekbones and you're going high. So start in that area where underneath where you want to cast a shadow, and then pull way up to your temple. And again, you can add product easier than you can remove. So we're kind of pulling it up, and you want to make sure you're doing this with a clean brush because if you're using a dirty makeup brush, it kind of makes your color muddy and you want it to be fresh. So again, I'm just kind of creating the illusion by casting a shadow underneath where I want a nice high ridged cheekbone. So you can see the difference. It's kind of lifting it up. And then if I take this shimmer and I just put it on the top side of my brush, so I'm just kind of rubbing the top side, I'm going to put the light up on that side so it looks like I have a nice ridge. So I've created that little highlight there. And then the last part I do is I kind of take my brush and I put it half and half, couple sweeps, and making sure that the highlight is up there, and I just kind of one more time across. And then I have created a higher cheekbone. Over here, it's just kind of, I don't have very ridged cheekbones, but it does look like I do have more of one. And then if I want to use it as a face slimmer, I'm going to, again, take it and put it underneath my jawline so that it looks like I have more of a defined jawline. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes, depending on your genetics or your weight, you might not have a very defined jawline, but you can create one just by basically putting a shadow there. So it looks a little bit more defined than over here. You get that defined look. Another thing you can do, let me grab my makeup brush, is you can take an eyeshadow brush, and I always start light to dark. So I take the light color and I put it on the inside of my eye, just a little bit. If you want a bolder color, you can dip this in lotion. You can put some setting spray in there, but I'm just kind of brightening up my eye, putting a little bit of that shimmer on the inside, and then taking the darker side and putting it on the out. So I am using it's like you're getting two uses out of this little compact. And the difference with this is it's a baked shadow / bronzer palette. So they don't put any chemicals in it. It is just the minerals from the earth, and they press it and bake it. And they have some oils in there that help everything bind together. So they don't need to add the chemicals for binding agents, which is really nice. So you can just do that. Give yourself a little lift. So you can see the difference here. You just kind of create a nice little eyeshadow illusion with this one palette. And if you want to use it as bronzer, you can either use the blush brush or you can use a big fluffy brush, add a little bit of this, and give yourself a little bit of a bronzer over your makeup, should you choose to wear any, and it gives you that little sun-kissed shimmer.